Hardship is hard. Having massive ambition, but struggling to remain consistent through difficult times is frustrating. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing enough? Will this even work out in the end? You don't want to listen to another online self-help guru, but you know that you need to overcome these adversities if you want to achieve the massive goals that you have set for yourself. Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 key frameworks that I have used over the last 8 years to overcome adversities and build the foundation to pretty much remain consistent when shit hits the fan and things get difficult. But before we can learn how to overcome adversity, you first need to understand why we even care. Why are you so afraid of failure? And if you're honest with yourself, you probably already know the reason. How many times have you not done something because of a reason that somebody else gave you? How many times have you not done something because you were afraid of what somebody else might think? If that sounds like you, I have some bad news. You're not really living at all. You are essentially suspended in time, living as a shell of what you could be, of your potential. If that sounds awful, that is because we have entered the first reason as to why you struggle so much with adversity, and that is because you fear what adversity will do to your interpersonal relationships and how they will be affected by it. Interpersonal relationships are at the core of our insecurities, but your insecurities and your outlook on the world is purely your own task. You are the only one that should be forming an opinion for yourself, about yourself, and the world around you. Only you should be shaping how you behave and how you understand certain things. I know it can be difficult to ignore people's opinions, so remember this. People are only projecting their own insecurities onto you. They're not your shortcomings, but theirs. If someone's going to judge you or make fun of you for posting a YouTube video or a TikTok or a reel, and they make fun of you because it flops, they're more so judging you because they are afraid of how they would feel if they did the same thing, because they're worried about what other people would think about them, and they don't have the confidence to do it themselves. So really, if someone's judging you and making fun of you for something like this or for failing, really it's a signifier that you're doing the right thing. All right, it is freezing out here. We're gonna move to the car. Should have brought a winter coat. But it's not really enough to just take control of our opinion on adversity and failure. Another equally important thing to do is to understand our purpose. Without stopping the video to think about it, do you know why it is that you want what you want on a deep level? I'm talking beyond the accolades or the money or the status that might come along with accomplishing the thing that you want to accomplish. Do you really know why you want it? If you don't, it's okay. I will talk about how to figure that out in a minute. But first, we need to understand why and how it is such an essential step in becoming a bulletproof, level-headed, consistent individual. Our purpose is more than just a goal that we set. It is literally the fuel to our engine, and the better you understand it, the more efficient you will be and the longer you'll be able to do this. If you don't have a deep understanding of your goal, you will inevitably burn out, because when shit gets hard, your resolve to continue going will not be enough to continue going. For example, if you think your purpose or your why is just you want to make a lot of money, you will find excuses and tell yourself that there are other ways to make the money. So it doesn't really matter if you keep doing the thing that you're doing now, because you can figure out another way to do it. And that is quite literally exactly what we are trying to avoid. If you are someone who burns out easily or gives up when shit gets hard, that probably sounds just like you. You probably find excuse after excuse over time to just stop doing the thing that you're doing because you think that you can find another way to do it or an easier way to do it. So how do we do this? How do we find our purpose? How do we find our ultimate resolve? Well, the first step is simply asking why. Why do you want what you want? And then asking why again and again and again and again until you literally cannot answer the question anymore. For example, I want to quit my 9-to-5. Why? So I can start my own business. Why? So I can make more money. Why? So I can have more free time. Why? So I can travel more. Why? Because I want to go experience new cultures and new places. Why? Because when I experience new cultures, new places, that's where I find the most fulfillment and peace and happiness. Deeply understanding your purpose and your why allows you to attach small activities to massive goals. That way, when things get hard and you're losing focus and motivation, it will be a lot easier to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Waking up 30 minutes earlier or working on the side hustle for an extra couple hours a week will be much easier to do when it's directly attached to your ultimate fulfillment and your ultimate peace, therefore allowing you to get through those hard times, to get through that adversity much easier. All right, so now that you understand your purpose, or can at least begin to understand how to find it, you can start to shape an environment that supports it. This is a step that is often overlooked by most people, but is one of the more crucial steps when it comes to getting through adversity. Who you surround yourself with creates an invisible ceiling to your actualized potential. What you can do will not change, but what you actually do will. Everybody has heard the saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But have you really actually thought about that? Have you really thought about who you are surrounding yourself with, and if they support you, and if they're going to be there for you when shit gets hard? Now, you obviously should not require others to remain disciplined. That should be entirely up to you and within your control. But having a group of people that are doing what you are doing and support you for what you're doing and can hold you accountable is extremely inspiring. There is not a doubt in my mind that I would not be where I am now doing this full time if I didn't surround myself with the right people and seek out others that were doing what I am doing. It's hard to do this a lot, and it's hard to get through shit when shit is hard. So just having a solid sphere of people that can support you regardless of what it is you're doing or what it is that you want to do is essential for becoming a bulletproof individual. So seek out people that support the crazy shit that you want to do. Seek out other people that think like you and have ambitions like you. Because when you can't hold yourself accountable, they sure will. And that leads me to the final step of becoming a bulletproof individual and being able to remain consistent through adversity. Now I've kind of bounced around between a lot of ideas and haven't give a lot of actionable advice. And that's all because there's really only one thing that is actionable that you need to do to remain consistent through adversity and get through times when times are hard. And that is by redefining success. If there's one thing that I've learned, success is not making $1 million a year or having the most clients or growing the biggest business or having whatever, all these material things. Success is what it takes to get there, to get those things, because that is what you can control. You can't control if that client signs with you, if that person hits the follow button, if they like your video or like what you make, but you can control the work you put in to get to that point. You can do everything up until that point. The reason why your life feels like a roller coaster, like it's just constantly going up and down and you feel like you have absolutely no control over it, is because you're defining your success and your happiness on the outcomes of your activities and not the activities themselves. If you want control over your life, then you need to define success and happiness as the things that you control, like waking up early, like putting in the reps, by being happy with what you create, regardless of what other people think about it. Your perception of the world is entirely up to you, and you can let it throw you against the wall and beat the absolute shit out of you, or you can spar with it and take the punches and learn from it and improve and grow every single time you're put up to the challenge. All right, that's kind of it. I don't really have an outro written. This was kind of a bit of a brain dump. It was a perfectly written script, but I kind of just wanted to flow and just ramble for a minute. So if you guys enjoyed, please, drop a like, subscribe down below. It's always greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.